Yeah, good morning to one and all. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Vanjeri, Assistant Professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay. So I welcome you all to Compensation and Benefits Management online class. So this is sixth class, okay, where we are learning chapter 2, part 3 from unit 1. So before I continue from the compensation strategy where we last stopped, let me take quickly a recap of what we have learned in the last two classes of this chapter. So we have learned the strategic choices. The strategies are made at the corporate level, business unit level, and functional level. I have given the example of Tata Group. Then we learned that compensation strategy must support business strategy. Okay, because basically the employees are working for a compensation, and the compensation can motivate or influence the employees to work towards achieving the organizational goals. It is the most effective tool. Compensation is the most effective tool in motivating the employees to work towards achieving organizational goals. Okay, then we also learned that the compensation strategy should be tailored to the business strategy, and we consider the three different strategies: innovator, cost cutter, and customer focused, and how the compensation strategy should be aligned or tailored to these business strategies. Then we learned that what is a compensation strategy? The decisions, the total decisions that are taken with respect to objectives, internal alignment, external competitiveness, employee contributions, and management put together becomes pay compensation system or
Sir,
compensation strategy. Yes, who is it? Sharon, my voice is audible.
Kripa sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, are there any problems in audio video?
Sir.
Sorry?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then we considered the example of a retail chain in US, Whole Foods Market Incorporation. So how this company has aligned its compensation strategy along with its business strategy by considering the building blocks. Okay, that is objectives. If we can recall, internal alignment, these are the four policy choices next. External competitiveness, employee contributions, and management. Okay, so after this, finally, we are arriving at how to develop a compensation strategy. Okay, the four steps basically involved in developing a total compensation strategy we are going to learn. Okay, so dear students, okay, please remember that you are being updated with the business news related to the subject. You also, you learned the simple compensation structure, okay, presented by Associate Vice President of ADP India Limited. So, and I also shared the website, okay, of Whole Foods Market Incorporation in the previous class. So these are, with all this additional knowledge, you should be able to understand the subject and relate the subject to the corporate practices. So today what we are going to learn, the steps involved in developing a total compensation strategy. So similar examples and illustrations will be considered while explaining these steps. Okay, so please be attentive. Let us make a beginning. So basically, okay, theoretically, there are four steps in developing a compensation strategy. Step one, I'll consider this slide. Okay, key steps in formulating a total compensation strategy. Step one, assess total compensation implications. Okay, in what context? Okay, the compensation strategy is being developed. Okay, and what will be its implications? So these have to be assessed in the beginning as a first step. Then step 2, map a total compensation strategy. Okay, so decisions with respect to objectives, alignment, competitive, internal alignment, external competitiveness, employee contributions and management, okay, need to be considered. Then third step, implement the strategy which is being developed here. Then fourth step, reassess, means evaluate the compensation strategy and to what extent it is able to or help achieve the business strategy. So if any changes are required, the company can make the changes in the pay system. Okay, so these are the 4 steps in order in formulating a total compensation strategy, or I can just call it compensation strategy. Okay, so let's go ahead and learn more about these steps. So step 1, assess total compensation implications. So the company needs to understand the dynamics of its business. So when I say dynamics, okay, the environment in which the company is operating. So that helps enable a company to develop an appropriate or more suitable compensation strategy. So it's like a homework. So what factors are assessed? Okay, in step 1, changing customer needs. Okay, say for example, okay, in the past, maybe price was one of the most important factor which a customer considered. But let us say over a period of time when the consumer's disposable income increased, okay, consumer might have started giving more importance to other factors like quality and customer service. So in the previous case where price was the most important factor, definitely cost cutting would have been the company strategy. So accordingly, the compensation system has to be developed. Okay, but in my hypothetical example, at present, if the customers are giving more importance to customer service, definitely, okay, the compensation system should focus on pay for performance, recruit and select such employees and reward those employees who delight the customers. Okay, so this is just one example. Other factors which the company need to assess in the beginning include competitors' actions. Okay, definitely because the employees will not only compare their salary with their counterparts in the same organization, which we call it internal alignment, but also they compare their salary with other companies in the market who are competitors. So to stay competitive in the market, definitely the company should consider the competitors' actions and pay structures. Then changing labor market conditions. Okay, so whether the supply of labor is okay sufficient or the insufficient, whether are there any changing laws in the country related to labor laws, wages act, okay, and the impact of globalization. So all these factors have to be assessed, okay, properly before a compensation strategy is developed. And the competitive dynamics can be assessed globally, but each country has a marketing environment of its own. Okay, so the environments in each country differs. The laws related to labor and wages differs in each country. So though it is difficult, but yet the company must consider the competitive dynamics, okay, across globally. So this gives a good platform for the company to develop a appropriate or more suitable compensation strategy. Okay. So here is an exhibit, Toshiba's managerial compensation plan. Okay. It is an annual amount in yen, Y-E-N-N. Yen is the currency of Japan. Okay. So first let me discuss about this exhibit. So if you look at the total core salary, okay, constitutes 42% of the total compensation, and the compensation which is based, this is the fixed salary you can consider. Okay, so this is the fixed part or core salary Okay, there is a fixed salary or core salary constitutes 42% of the total compensation. Okay, and the compensation based on position means hierarchy and designation. Okay, as well as the rank. Pay based on position and rank constitutes 21% of the total compensation, and the bonus, okay, constitutes 37% of the total compensation. Okay, so there are some star marks here. Let's understand them. So for bonus, there is a star mark. Bonus paid twice a year and based on performance. So dear students, pay attention. 37% of the managerial compensation is pay for performance. Okay, then double star core salary and position and rank based on performance again. Okay, but not just performance. Core salary and position and rank pay is based on performance, ability, and length of service. So these factors are taken into consideration while designing managerial compensation. Okay, so where the pay for performance or bonus constitutes 37% of the total compensation in Japan, which highlights the need for a manager to perform. In the United States of America, okay, this bonus constitutes just around 10%. I repeat, in United States, okay, this bonus constitutes around just 10% of the total compensation. Okay, so you can imagine, okay, how much pressure these managers will have, okay, who are working in companies. And it is not just Toshiba. Most of the traditional companies in Japan, okay, follow a similar compensation structure. Okay, so for those who are not aware about the company Toshiba, so I'll share the new screen now. Okay, so this is Toshiba's global website. So when you want to refer some data, okay, about a company. So generally there will be two websites. Please remember, one is global website and another is a country specific or region specific website. So this is the global website of Toshiba. So full name of the company is Toshiba Corporation. Okay, then yeah, founded in, please see, 1875, more than 100-year-old company, 150-year-old company. Okay, so then net sales. Okay, 3,389.9 billion yen. Okay, then look at the number of employees, 1,25,648. So believe me, students, okay, without, okay, due consideration and respect for the employees, without a proper compensation strategy, no company can reach these heights. Okay, so now just let's also browse, okay, the career section. Okay, employment opportunities. Okay, so this is the opportunities, job opportunities or career page of Toshiba website. Okay, so you can see our teams. Toshiba's involvement in a wide range of technological and business fields assures it can offer a career that matches your interests and helps you achieve your full potential. Okay, so these are the different opportunities that will be available. Okay, business and administrative roles. Okay. So I hope we'll stop browsing at this point in time. For more details, you please log on to Toshiba website and learn about the company. Okay. Now let me go back to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so students, can you see the PowerPoint slide again, Sharon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that Toshiba homepage was visible, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, now also the Toshiba is only visible, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. Then I have to make a new share, I think. Okay, now can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So other than the factors that we learned, the company also need to assess culture and values, social and political context, so that okay, it can comply with the local laws and regulations as well. A pay system reflects the values that guide an employer's behavior and underlies treatment of employees. Okay, so those companies who just pay okay out of the obligation arising out of the contract okay between the employer and employment, those companies hardly grow okay to the global level. Please try to understand, they always remain either local, regional or national at the max. Okay, but only a company okay which can okay treat its employees fairly and respectfully, okay, only those companies grow globally. Those Fortune 2000 companies, Fortune 5000 companies, you can call them, okay. So that is what we call it as a culture in the organization. Okay, and with what values the company adheres to with respect to its employees. So it calls for the compensation structure should be designed in such a way, okay, which should respect the employees and enable the employee to lead a quality life. So if you can recall, I was talking about some of the companies, okay, that pay like 800 rupees house rent allowance, 1000 rupee house rent allowance in a city like Bengaluru. Okay, and there are several companies that pay such a low salary okay that employees are not even able to cover the basic needs like food, clothing, shelter, health and education. Okay, so in those families basically many family members work, okay, as well as the person who is working in a company will also have some alternate source of income, so where his focus will not be dedicated only to the company. So those companies never grow globally. Please try to understand. So a pay system reflects or a compensation strategy reflects the values that guide an employer's behavior and underlies treatment of employees. So you can really see it or read it okay in the top companies okay like Fortune 500 or Fortune 2000 companies. Smaller companies it is okay not experienced, it is not evident. Okay, so if you want to learn this okay websites of the companies which I'm browsing and Fortune 500 companies also you can browse, go to career section of the website and you will see what kind of a culture these companies offer to their employees. Then social and political context. Social and political factors as well have to be considered before developing a proper compensation strategy. The context refers, so when we say social and political context, this context refers to legal and regulatory requirements, cultural differences, changing workforce, demographics, expectations, etc. Okay, so I'll consider one example. Say legal regulatory requirements. If it is a multinational company working in different countries and its employees are located in different countries, each country will have its own laws related to labor and wages. So the compensation strategy should comply with these legal and regulatory requirements in each country. So that has to be studied well in advance. Then demographics, say for example, okay, so if the employees of a company, okay, belong to seniors who are, let us say, aged above 40, 45, or 50, as well as youngsters. See, this is called demographics. One of the criteria is age, which I considered here. See, the needs of the senior employees and the needs of the younger employees will be quite different. Okay, so the compensation structure should inculcate this into its strategy. See, those who are younger employees, okay, will be more eager to purchase a home, a car, okay, and make. So you can try to understand. Okay, so they'll be more interested in these things. And the seniors like 40, 45-year-old employees, okay, so they'll be more interested in making contributions towards their gratuity provident fund because they are nearing retirement and they want to save for their post-retirement life. So the compensation strategy in such a way should consider the demographics of its employees. Okay. Yeah, other than that, expectations of the employees, cultural differences, changing workforce. Okay. All these factors have to be taken into account before developing compensation strategy. Because these, okay, social and political factors affects compensation choices. I gave you the example of demographics. And lobbying is also a part of the compensation strategy. Okay. See, lobbying here means the company executives will be in touch with the employees of the government who are, okay, concerned with the legal and regulatory laws related to labor and wages. Okay, and they can make them understand that what type of a compensation strategy is more suitable for the employees of the country. Okay, and accordingly they can try to influence the lawmakers as well. It's not about bribing, huh? Please remember. Okay, so after step one, where the company needs to assess total compensation implications, means the factors that we just considered. Okay, we'll consider one example of Medtronic values. So where I read out culture and values. A pay system reflects the values that guide an employer's behavior and underlie its treatment of employees. So in this exhibit, okay, Medtronic values. So as I said, okay, most of us are using the products, but we always ignore the company. So Medtronic is the pioneer in developing products like pacemaker and stents. Those who are not aware, okay, you please go to Google and type pacemaker and stent separately. You'll know the product and where they're used. Okay, so heart patients need them. Okay, they are actually lifesavers. So if you look at this, okay, Medtronic's objective number values number 5. I'll read the fifth value: to recognize the personal worth of employees. See, what is the attitude of Medtronic towards its employees? I repeat, what is the value or culture at Medtronic towards its employees? How Medtronic treats its employees? To recognize the personal worth of employees by providing an employment framework that allows personal satisfaction in work accomplished, security, advancement opportunity, and means to share the company's success. Okay, so I repeat again. Okay, so these Fortune 2000 companies, when they write it, okay, it becomes a 10 commandment for them, a law for them. Okay, and they abide by them. Okay, they don't write for fashion. Okay, or they like that whitewash. Okay, what they write, they practice. That's why they become world's largest companies. Okay, so let us browse the website of Medtronic. Okay, and let us see what the culture they mentioned here. Is it true? So I'm going to make a new share now. Okay, so this is the website of Medtronic. Just read one couple of lines about Medtronic. Okay. So at Medtronic, we believe in power of medical technology to improve lives. 7 decades ago, our co-founder invented the battery-powered pacemaker. Today, we are among the largest medical devices companies in the world. With operations in 150 countries, our products treat 70 health conditions and include cardiac devices, cranial, spine robotics, insulin pumps, surgical tools, patient monitoring systems, and more. Our therapies help 72 million people a year and support our mission to alleviate pain, restore health, and extend life. Okay, so let us browse the career page of this company. Careers and culture. So we just considered that the culture and value of an organization has to be considered before developing a compensation strategy. Okay. So they say careers that change lives, do meaningful work, make a difference, and improve lives. Okay, so this is how Medtronic treats its employees. Okay. Then you can see here culture, early careers, engineering, inclusion and diversity, search jobs. So we'll go for culture, discover culture. Okay. So rather than I read out, so there is a short video. I'll not play full. I'll just play it for 2 minutes. So listen carefully, everyone.
At Medtronic, we believe greater inclusion and diversity benefits our business, our customers, and our entire team. Here, you'll find ways to have a sense of community within a large company. You'll be given opportunities to use your time and talents for good. And you'll be recognized for your contributions in different ways. This is how we all stay connected to our founder's vision and the mission. This is about careers that create lasting relationships. Careers that connect lives.
There are several ways at Medtronic we get rewarded and recognized. The first type of recognition is quarterly sales contests. The other way is from the physicians thanking us. And recognizing our coworkers is a daily event. Texting, calling, giving someone a hug, telling them they did a great job. When my team recognizes me, it's one of the highlights of my day. It really makes me feel awesome.
So I was about 6 months into my job when I heard that Medtronic has employee resource groups. Medtronic has a wide array of ERGs to get involved in. So many avenues to find something that you're passionate about and a place where you can truly grow to the best version of you. And that's what ERGs truly let you do. Take your skill set, take what you're passionate about, and really try it out in a smaller setting that makes a bigger impact.
As part of Project 6 initiatives, around 60 to 70 Medtronic employees volunteered at a center called Senses, which is a residential and daycare center for kids with special needs. Some of us were involved in doing laundry for the kids, another group was helping them during lunch to feed them, and another group of us doing some art activity and painting. And they feel the attention, they feel the warmth, they feel that someone is paying attention and spending quality time with them, which was very touching for me at a personal.
Okay, Sharni, can you see the PowerPoint now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Yes, sir. Now I can see, sir.
Okay. And that video is also visible?
Yes, sir.
Audio?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'll continue from here. So this is how Medtronic, okay, leaves its, okay, words, okay, that are mentioned in their value system. to recognize the personal worth of employee by providing an employment framework that allows personal satisfaction in work accomplished. Okay, so you heard there the employee speaking. So here also we hear them, but they are made to speak. Okay, but here people speak what they have experienced. Okay, that is the only difference. Okay, security, advancement, opportunity, and means to share in company's success. Then other factors that need to be assessed before developing the compensation strategy are employee preferences, how to better satisfy individual needs and preferences. Okay, employees can be given options, okay, or choices like flexible benefits and choices. Say if there are working couples, husband and wife both are working, having a child, okay, so flexible timings can be considered. Okay, so for child education, healthcare of the family members, so they can be given options to choose from. Okay, so that is how employee preferences can be taken care, because all employees will not prefer the same. A single families, okay, means where one person is living, or couples without kids, couples with children, okay, old aged employees, so their all preferences will be different. So please try to consider. Okay, a small organization will not be able to consider all these preferences. They will consider only that is cost. Okay, but a large scale organization like Medtronic, Toshiba, Apple, Microsoft, IBM, okay, so these companies do consider these preferences. They're capable of, because the employees have made these companies capable of that. Okay, so it is give and take, because company takes care of the employees, employee make maximum contribution to the development of the organization, and both are benefited. Okay, then union preferences. So here we're talking about a labor union. Okay, so you might have heard the word labor union. It is a union formed, okay, to protect the rights of the workers or laborers, and the unions negotiate with or discuss with the management of the companies, and there are laws that govern the labor unions as well. So pay strategies need to be adopted to the nature of the union management relationship, so that there will not be any problems. But definitely, yes, union's interest may differ from that of the management. So that's why compensation deals with unions can be costly to change. So sometimes, okay, once the company enters into an agreement with the labor union, or if they agree to the terms and conditions of the labor unions, it may be difficult for the companies to change that compensation structure. So that's the reason why union preferences have to be assessed before the compensation strategy are developed, and what are the implications in future of such a strategy has to be taken into consideration. Only then the company goes ahead and develops compensation strategy. So that's all about step 1, assess total compensation implications. Okay, yeah, I think there is one more slide, I'll finish, and in the next session, means after okay, this class, I will take your questions. Prominence of pay in overall compensation strategy. Okay, so what is the prominence of compensation strategy in the overall human resources strategy? See, compensation is just one part of human resource strategy. So, and what will be the role of, okay, compensation strategy in the overall human resources strategy? That has to be assessed in the beginning itself. So whether the compensation strategy will act as a supporting player, okay, to support the HR strategy, or it will play the role of a catalyst for change, means which will change the course of action of HR strategy. Pay strategy is influenced by how it fits with other HR systems in the organization. That impact or implication also need to be considered. Then the high performance systems like a high skill or knowledge requirements. So those employees who will have high skill and high knowledge, work designed so that employee teams enjoy discretion in making decisions and continue to learn. Say in a company where the business strategy is innovation, okay, the job profiles cannot be restricted, okay, like traditional jobs. So the employee should have flexible work environment and job profile, and how you are going to pay for such designations. These all factors have to be taken into account. and pay systems based on performance, and what will be their implication on the employee motivation and performance have to be taken into account. So pay can be a supporting player as we discussed in the beginning, okay, in the overall HR strategy, or it can play the role of a game changer. I repeat, catalyst means role of a game changer in the HR strategy. Okay. So dear students, I'll end the meeting here and immediately I will start the next meeting. So please join within 2 minutes. Thank you.